Guys, another nightmare for Chelsea Football Club and Enzo Maresca. These 4 matches were without a win in all competition. That's very poor. That's very poor. Okay, first I have to commend the lineup he started with. I'm talking about Enzo Maresca. I think he started with quite a good lineup, except Jamie Gittins. Maybe experiment, maybe trying to regain his confidence or whatever the reason is. I mean, the lineup looks good. I mean, it was a strong lineup because even when I was watching the game in the first half, I noticed Atlanta were out for the game, but the atmosphere of the stadium, the fans, the players, and Pasalic was not even there. I mean, he didn't even start the game. And there is this other player, I've forgotten his name. They didn't even start. So they came for the hard game, for the battle, and you know they were doing where they had some couple of chances which Chelsea also had, and the game was like 50-50. Then luckily for Chelsea, we scored, and looking at that game, like there was no room for experiment anymore. If I was in Enzo Maresca's shoe, I wouldn't have given any chance for experiment. So now the first substitution I expected Enzo Maresca to do was Jamie Gittins, because he cannot stand on 1-0, and hoping that Atlanta, will get tired, or Atlanta will not fire in the second half, and, Atlanta is going to, or are we going to defend or what? He left Jamie Gittins, removed Chalobah, which is understandable because he has a yellow card. Maybe fear of missing next match or whatever reason is. But I still believe that Chalobah could have still played with the yellow card and nothing would have happened. So bringing Fofana on is still a good choice. I mean, there's nothing bad with it. But then Fofana flipped and they scored a goal. Like I said, Atlanta, we were playing at high level yesterday. I mean, they were ticking every dot and crossing every. They were ticking every I's and crossing every T. So the game was hard. There was no room for experiment. So then Enzo Maresca still went ahead to take away Pedro Neto and Enzo. Enzo is understandable. Pedro Neto was the only lively attacker we had. Joao Pedro wasn't really in that game, even though he scored. He took off Pedro Neto and Enzo. Enzo was fighting all over, even if he wasn't playing well. I don't used to before. I'm not really a fan of Enzo Fernandez, but yesterday he has always showed dedication to play, which I like. I like players who show dedication to play. So he was fighting and he was all over the pitch. So maybe, okay, I understand you're trying to rest these players ahead of the match against Everton this weekend. So why then there's Santos in the game? There's Santos, removing and put Santos, But why leaving Jamie Gittins and removing Pedro Neto? These are the errors. Then, unfortunately for us, bad day coming. Fofana had sustained an injury. That was a very unnecessary tackle there. And that should have been given the red card because Kamaka clearly pushed his leg. And I don't know why the VAR didn't look at that. So now, okay, he had injury, he couldn't play with it. Not everyone can play with injuries, Just like Chalobah the last time he had a knock here and a bruise, But he could play with it. But I think Fofana's own affected his sight. So I expected Enzo Maresca as a player, as a coach who knows his team after 1 year, and plus the recent problems with Tosin. I mean the recent form of Tosin. I expected him, okay, take Gusto to right back because he was not even doing a great job in the midfield. And the game is hard as hell. Josh Achipong can play central back. I mean, he's tall, he's quick. The only thing maybe wouldn't need to be like playing out from the back all the time. Or James and Casito can be dropping to that central back when we're playing out, like they usually do. So why did you not have to bring Tosin? And then Tosin had a foul. Normally, when players get a foul, they try to stop the players from starting a quick counter immediately, so the team will balance. But Tosin like very reluctant. I mean, you're a professional footballer. I mean, even at low level, like non-professional games, we do that. Imagine a pro player. Could you just block the ball? Block it. I mean, don't allow them to start a quick counter. This is basic. This is basic football. This is basic. Then Tosin, acting like a woman, allowed them to play quick counter. The Qatari, what's his name again? He's good at shooting. So, fortunately for us, they were like Ricochet or deflection, and Sanchez couldn't get the key. And that was how we lost. These are the cases. So I'm saying that I blame Enzo Maresca's substitution, and also at the same time, Garnacho and Jamie Gittins, they are not Chelsea's level. I mean, if Chelsea wants to go big, we have done. I don't want them to, waste Palmer's talent, because somehow wasted Hazard's talent. Hazard was good. He still showed off. I mean, he did a lot for us, but we did not back him up like with wonderful signings to be around him to even make the team greater. It was just Pedro and Willian. Imagine we had more players, maybe like someone like Dembele at his peak, or you understand what I'm saying? Now, Palmer, my experience is the same thing. Look at Man City. They have Doku, they have Mamouche, they have Savinho, they have Bob, they have Ryan Cherky. I mean, talents to bring out the best from each other. So, but for Palmer now, it seems we are still going back to the same old story. Yeah, Estavao is talented, but he didn't bring him on yesterday. In fact, Estavao would have started with Pedro Neto on the left, Estavao on the right. Since he's already doing well in the Champions League, that will boost his confidence. So now Alexander Garnacho plays the same thing every day since the days of Manchester United. Predictable, just the same game. Jamie Gittins is still learning. I mean, he plays for England under 21, and how can you be at Chelsea and you're playing in England under 21? Chelsea of those days, they used to be captains in all their teams, or I mean, like senior players in their national side. Garnacho is not even being called up. So what are Chelsea doing? What are the directors? What are the policy is better than Garnacho and Gittins. Even Hosnoda is better than them. So are we upgrading or are we degrading? What are we doing? And Maresca, I don't know. I just believe that he will get there soon. Maybe he just try to justify whatever he's doing. Maybe to make it clear, Tosin, I tried, and it did not work. But that's not how football works. At the end of the day, everyone is going to blame you. And yes, I'm blaming Enzo Maresca's second half substitution on this loss. Let's see how they're going to do against Everton. Let's see.